The 27th of June, it's 5:30. We are doing a daily analysis. So if we go to TradingView and we do the British pound first, we are on the daily here. We can see that we are right in the middle of this significant uptrend for the British pound. If we zoom in on that onto the 4-hour, we can see that this is overall an uptrend. At the moment, we can see that there has been a bit of a pullback off of this supply zone. It's dipped up and now it's kind of ranging in that area. If we get a bit closer on the 1-hour, we can kind of see that it's slipped outside of this trend line, that it's been pretty consistent for the last, looks about 3 weeks or so, maybe even more, maybe even a month of it just going up. And then now we've kind of gone outside of that. We just need to kind of wait to see when we have some news. Is it going to be a big move to the upside and we continue, or is it going to be a rejection and we might have more of a downtrend like this here? We can see that the ribbon has actually rotated from being the blue on top in an uptrend to actually the red being on top, which usually signifies a downtrend. In saying that, they're basically overlapping each other, so it's really hard to tell. It's a bit of an up in the air at the moment. So yeah, it does make it quite tricky to know exactly what to expect. We just need to be wary of news, which may kind of push us to one side or the other. Today's obviously Tuesday. We don't have any news for about 4.5 hours. Even then, this is for USD, and consumer confidence is the only one that is quite important, and that's not till 10. So that's like 6 hours away, which kind of takes us to about 11:30 at night. So yeah, not a lot of news. If we go to the 1 minute, we can see what's happened here. There was a nice trade just here, which should line up very close to that there. It's kind of right there. So we can see that. And we can see that coming down here to the downside. So, I would say around this zone here is where I'd be looking if I wanted to buy, and kind of layering in around this zone here. So if we were to draw that, kind of looking at this action here. So if we were to buy, we would try to get to the second riverbank, and if we are selling at this stage, I'm still happy to be selling just inside that first one. We have in fact been trading already. We've made a nice $500 profit for British pound, and so if we go to that, we can kind of see that here where I got in at that first supply zone. It went past that, and I had a auto trade perfect there, and we just got out of the median. So overall, really cruisy. Just waiting to see what else kind of happens here. This looks like it's coming down. And you can see here, this median, that floor there, that looks quite a good location to be getting in there. And if we kind of pull back, we can kind of see the next zone here. So those are the two zones that are already set up, here and here. We'll see if that does in fact come to come to fruition. But outside of that, let's move on to the US 30. So on the daily, you can see that we are still overall in an uptrend. It's quite significant. You can see that ribbon, that blue ribbon, is on top of that, the red. This is on the 4 hour. Try and zoom out a bit to see what's going on. Yeah, it's not extremely helpful. This is on the 1 hour. It's a little bit clearer, where we can see that it actually has switched over. So we have this uptrend, quite skinny trend line, or trend channel, so to speak. And we have recently, over the last week, broken out of that, where we had this massive movement to the upside, and it took a full week of it filling, and so nothing but downside action. And this, over the last 2 days, this is the most amount of pullback that we've seen, and we can see that's right in line with this here in this section. And so if we go to the minute, where it is now, we may see some sort of push to the upside. That's kind of what we're looking at, wherever this is going to reject, or if this is going to continue pushing to the downside. We can see that it has tested that already a few times. So yeah, again, like we were talking about with news, there isn't much until about 10 or 11. So we're just kind of playing this by ear. So when it comes to buys or sells, I am looking around. Probably go closer to this zone here. Just go with the river. And if we were to buy at this stage, this median lines up quite well with this section here. That's probably where I'd be looking at buying. That looks like it's been tested quite a lot. So that's the zone that I'd like to enter, my first enter. And we can see that will probably, if it does come down, it could come to this zone here, and then maybe even a third time to this zone here. So if I was to space them out, that's kind of how we're looking. So it's quite a lot of movement to expect, especially when we're only starting at that second riverbank. But that's a conservative approach and nicely spaced out. So that's kind of what we're looking at today. We'll check back in tomorrow morning to see how everything panned out. So have a good one. Thanks.